Is Peter Hayes. I'm obviously a student here at CCU. My major is in Christian apologetics, specifically global apologetics. I live outside of Harrisburg in a thriving metropolis called Mechanicsburg, which is right across the river from the capital of PA on the good side. I'm about to be 38 years old. I'm married. I have two children. I've been living up in this area for approximately 8 or 9 years. I grew up in Pennsylvania, but further south, down near Delaware and Maryland. Um, what I hope to get out of this class is a better ability at public speaking, which is something at this point in my life I kind of struggle with. When I was younger, I would be in theater troops and performances like that, and it never seemed to bother me. But for some reason, as I got older, I'm really not sure why, but the idea of speaking in front of a large crowd or something to that extent has just made me, I guess, nervous or anxious or what have you. I can still do it, but it's not as easy to do as it used to be. And so I kind of chose this class to help me in that area, especially since my major is apologetics. One of the key tools in apologetics is communication. And if you can't communicate, then how can you get the gospel across? How can you defend the faith against attacks from the culture, from atheists, or what have you? You can't. You got to be able to communicate and speak to people where they are. Sometimes it's on a one-on-one basis, but other times, I'm sure I'll find I'll have to speak to, excuse me, Bible studies or crowds or, anything of that nature. And I'd like to be comfortable doing that. I wouldn't want to freeze up or, just not be able to, focus on what I intend to say. And so that's more or less why I would want to take this class. As far as previous experiences in public speaking, as I said, I used to do theater groups, and it didn't bother me at all. I used to love it. I used to have fun doing that, and throughout high school, the same thing. I could stand up in front of the in the auditorium and give a speech, on a project or something of that nature, and not really think twice about it. Now, when I do, I install solar for a living, so I'm up on a roof, 2, 3 stories up on a really steep roof, and some people will be scared to do that, and they won't want to go up on the roof. I would rather be up on a 2-story roof, dangling off the edge than giving a speech in public. So that's a major hurdle that I guess I need to overcome, especially since my degree is more or less, I mean, it has a pretty narrow focus insofar as what you can apply it to. You can't just there's apologetics it's a broad field, but it's not broad in terms of the economy or how you're going to make money or provide for your family. There's very specific, it's very specific in insofar as like career options, and it's limited in that sense to your ability to communicate, whether it be through videos like this or podcasts, which is just audio. But you also, if you look at the careers and ministries of great apologists, like William Lane Craig or R.C. Sproul or some of those guys, they would have to get up there in front of thousands of people and sometimes debate other individuals, which is really putting yourself in the hot seat. Not only giving a speech, but also being able to interact and think on your feet with thousands of people watching, half the crowd hoping that you'll screw up. So you gotta be able to put those things out of your mind and just focus on the task at hand. And the thing that has helped me would be scripture. when Moses spoke to God at the burning bush, Moses gave God all kinds of excuses for why he didn't want to be the one to go and talk to Pharaoh. And the thing that uh, kind of got me was what God said to Moses. Who made man's mouth, and who made him dumb, who made him eloquent of speech, and all these things. It is I, the Lord. And so it kind of puts things into perspective that if God's calling you to do a specific thing, then just because you're afraid of something you might have to do in order to accomplish that goal, i.e. public speaking in my case, then you got to be able to overcome that, and you got to be able to challenge the things that you fear, to accomplish a goal. But the goal isn't just money or a career or something. It's being able to proclaim the gospel to a nation that obviously desperately needs to hear it. And so my own personal anxiety or fear of public speaking or something to that effect is trivial in comparison to that. And that kind of helps me keep it in perspective. But anyway, I look forward to viewing everyone else's videos in this class, in the discussion, and interacting with you all. And look forward to your comments to this video on how I can improve, or any notes or tips you might have for me. Thanks.